Picture this for a moment. You're walking down a busy city street early in the morning. People rushing past, coffee in hand, eyes glued to their phones. And then, in the middle of all that noise, there's this tiny figure, an older woman, no taller than your shoulder, moving with the kind of focus and energy you don't often see anymore. She's 101 years old, and she's on her way to work. Now, pause and really think about that. 101. Not sitting at home watching TV. Not talking about the good old days. She's living them, right now. You can almost see her, Ann Angeli, buzzing around New York's Diamond District, joking with jewelers, bargaining for prices, smiling at strangers. 6 days a week, she opens her shop, Curiosity Jewelry and Crystal, alongside her daughter and granddaughter. And she says, if I retire, I would die. So I cannot stay home. That sentence alone stops you, doesn't it? Because it's more than just words. It's a window into something deep, something we all quietly wonder about. What keeps people like her going? What makes one person fade with age while another glows brighter with every passing year? Maybe you've seen it too. That elderly neighbor who walks every morning at sunrise. The grandparent who insists on cooking for the whole family, even at 90. Or maybe you've looked at someone like Ann and thought, I hope I still have that kind of spark when I'm her age. Well, here's the beautiful truth, it's not luck. It's not genetics alone. There's science behind it. Real, proven habits that explain why some people seem to age in reverse, staying strong, happy, and full of purpose while others slow down. And this isn't just about living longer. It's about living better. Because what good is adding years if those years don't feel joyful, connected, and free? Ann's story isn't just a cute headline, it's a roadmap. A reminder that how you live today, the choices you make, the way you treat your body and your mind, can shape the decades ahead of you. You might be 60, 70, or even 85 right now, but your story isn't done. Not by a long shot. And if Ann can keep showing up for life at 101, so can you. In the next few minutes, we'll break down the 5 powerful habits, backed by science, that explain Ann's secret. From how she moves, eats, and cares for herself, to how she builds relationships and keeps her mind young, every detail reveals something you can start doing today to stay vibrant, strong, and full of purpose. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes people like Ann truly ageless, and how you can bring that same energy into your own life or the life of someone you love. But before we dive in, I want you to do one thing for me. Take a second and comment below, I'm here for wisdom. Because if you're watching this, it means you care, not just about growing older, but about growing well. And don't forget to subscribe to Senior Health Wisdom, where we share real stories, real science, and real lessons that help you age with grace, strength, and joy. Now, let's uncover the science behind Ann's incredible 101-year-old spirit, and how you can build your own version of it. Picture this, it's barely sunrise in New York City. Most people are still asleep, but not Ann. At 1:01, she's already dressed, her hair neatly pinned back, her bag in hand. She locks her apartment door, walks down the steps, and heads for the train. The city hums awake around her, the noise, the people, the rush, and she's right there in the middle of it, moving with purpose. Now, here's what's fascinating, that simple act, taking the train, walking the busy streets of Manhattan, standing on her feet all day, isn't just a sign of her independence. It's medicine. Real, biological medicine. Movement, for Ann, is more than just physical, it's neurological. Every step she takes pumps oxygen through her bloodstream, feeding her muscles and, more importantly, her brain. Scientists call it neurogenesis, the process of growing new brain cells. And it doesn't stop with age, contrary to what many people think. It slows, yes, but it never truly stops. Harvard researchers found that seniors who walk at least 30 minutes a day can reduce their risk of cognitive decline by nearly 40%. That means less forgetfulness, sharper thinking, better focus, the kind of clarity that makes you feel alive. And Ann? She's living proof of it. She walks, she talks, she negotiates, she's constantly using her brain in motion. She's not exercising, in the gym sense of the word. She's simply moving through life with intention. And that's the difference. Movement doesn't have to mean marathons. It just has to mean consistency. Now, here's where many families get it wrong. They think rest equals recovery, that slowing down is the best way to protect aging bodies. But too much rest does the opposite. When muscles aren't used, they shrink. When joints stay stiff, balance fades. And that's when falls happen, confidence drops, and independence starts to slip away. So yes, rest matters, but motion, gentle and steady, is what keeps the body alive. Even something as simple as walking to the mailbox, stretching while waiting for the kettle to boil, or dancing slowly in the kitchen can keep blood flowing and endorphins, those feel-good hormones, rising. And it's not just about the physical benefits either. Movement fuels mood. Every time you move, your brain releases serotonin and dopamine, natural chemicals that fight off sadness, loneliness, and fatigue. No wonder Ann still greets her customers with a smile. She's feeding her body and her mind with each step she takes. You might not live in New York or own a jewelry shop, but you can take her secret and make it yours. Start small, maybe it's a short morning walk. Maybe it's stretching before bed. The goal isn't speed or distance. The goal is consistency, showing up for your body every single day, just like Ann shows up for her work. And once movement becomes a habit, something else remarkable happens, the mind follows. You begin to think clearer, feel lighter, and even sleep better. That's the quiet power of motion. It keeps you grounded in the present, connected to your purpose, and in tune with your body. And speaking of purpose, that's Ann's next secret. Because while her body stays active, it's her mind and her sense of meaning that truly keep her young. When someone once asked Ann why she never retired, she looked up from her counter, smiled, and said softly, "If I retire, I would die." It wasn't said out of fear, it was said out of truth. Because for Ann, work isn't about the money. It's about meaning. It's what gives her days shape, what keeps her mind focused, her heart full, and her spirit alive. You see, when you wake up with something to look forward to, even something small, your brain takes notice. Purpose is one of the most powerful medicines known to science. The National Institute on Aging found that having a strong sense of purpose can lower mortality risk by up to 15%. That's not coincidence. That's biology. Purpose activates dopamine, often called the motivation molecule. It's what makes you feel driven, curious, alive. It boosts your immune system, sharpens memory, and keeps depression at bay. And when dopamine flows, the body listens. It starts to repair, to heal, to thrive. So when Ann says, "If I retire, I would die," what she's really saying is, without purpose, the body forgets why it's here. And that's true for all of us, no matter the age. Many people believe older adults need to slow down, to stay safe, to rest. But slowing down too much, that's when the spark fades. Our brains need engagement, our hearts need responsibility. Even small things. Like volunteering at a local center, tending to a garden, teaching a grandchild how to sew, these aren't just hobbies. They're neurological lifelines. Purpose gives the brain direction and the heart meaning. So if you're caring for someone older, or you're thinking ahead to your own later years, remember this: find something to wake up for. It doesn't have to be big. It just has to matter. Maybe it's reading to children. Maybe it's caring for a pet. Maybe it's baking for the neighborhood. Whatever it is, let it fill your days with routine and responsibility, because that's what keeps both neurons and hearts alive. And Ann? Her purpose is as simple as it is profound: serving her customers, sharing stories, and showing the world that passion doesn't retire. Of course, that kind of drive doesn't come from willpower alone. It's supported by how she treats her body every single day, which brings us to her next secret. And has a simple rule she's lived by for decades. You must get up. You must shower. You must eat. You must take care of yourself. She says it like a mantra, not out of vanity, but survival. Because to her, self-care isn't luxury. It's oxygen. It's how she keeps herself centered, clean, confident, and calm, no matter what the day brings. Now, here's what science tells us about that simple morning ritual. When you get up at the same time each day, shower, dress, and eat, you're doing more than starting your morning, you're training your circadian rhythm. That's your body's internal clock, the one that controls sleep, hormones, digestion, and even mood. When that rhythm is stable, your body feels balanced. When it's chaotic, everything feels off: energy, appetite, focus, sleep. Even something as small as brushing your teeth, or changing out of sleepwear, triggers your brain to say, it's a new day. You're still here. Let's begin. That single moment, that choice to start fresh, sends a wave of calm through your nervous system. Scientists call it activating the parasympathetic response, the body's natural way of telling itself, you are safe. So, when Ann insists on dressing up and heading to work at 101, it's not just habit. It's therapy. It's what keeps her hormones balanced, her immune system alert, her confidence alive. Too often, families think self-care is optional for seniors, that routines like dressing nicely, eating regularly, or maintaining hygiene are extra. But those small acts are what build identity. When a person stops caring for themselves, they often lose touch with who they are. So help your loved ones build that rhythm. Start the day with a warm shower. Encourage them to eat a proper breakfast, even something small. Play music, open the curtains, help them choose clothes that make them feel like themselves. It's not about perfection. It's about continuity. Because when the body is cared for, the spirit feels valued. And that sense of value, that quiet pride in simply showing up for yourself, is the foundation of healthy aging. But Ann's secret doesn't stop with self-care. Because there's something even deeper, something that has carried her through every long day, every lonely morning, and every joyful smile. It's the power of connection. You know what's interesting about Ann? She's not just a woman who works with diamonds, she shines like one. Every morning, she greets familiar faces at her little shop in New York's Diamond District. Some customers come to buy jewelry, but most just come to talk. They bring her coffee, share stories, laugh about old memories, and sometimes cry about new pains. To Ann, those conversations are more precious than gold. Because connection, real, face-to-face connection, is medicine for the soul. You see, loneliness is a silent killer. The Mayo Clinic found that people with strong social ties are 70% less likely to develop dementia and 50% less likely to die from heart disease. Why? Because when we talk, touch, and laugh with others, our bodies release oxytocin, the bonding hormone. It lowers blood pressure, reduces stress, and literally strengthens your immune system. So, when Ann laughs with her regulars, she's not just passing time, she's boosting her heart health and protecting her brain. Every shared smile, every story exchanged, is like a dose of natural medicine. But here's the misconception. Too many people believe technology can replace that. They think a few likes on social media or a quick video call is enough. But studies show that loneliness has the same mortality risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. 15. Imagine that. The truth is, connection doesn't need Wi-Fi. It needs warmth. It's the neighbor you wave to. The friend you call just to say hi. The family dinner where laughter fills the room. So, if you have an older parent, a grandparent, or even a neighbor who lives alone, check on them. Visit them. Sit with them, even for 10 minutes. That human bond can be the difference between decline and vitality. And for you, if you're listening, maybe start with one call today. Because relationships don't just protect the heart, they keep it beating with purpose. Now, there's one more thing. One final secret that ties all of Ann's habits together. It's not about movement, or diet, or even social life. It's something deeper, something happening inside the mind. Ann has lived through wars, recessions, heartbreaks, and decades of change. She's seen the world turn upside down more times than she can count, yet her laughter still fills that tiny store. She doesn't carry bitterness. She carries wisdom. And that, my friend, is her greatest secret. See, her resilience isn't luck. It's not denial. It's a mental choice, one she's been making for over a century. Every day, Ann chooses gratitude. She focuses on what's left, not what's lost. And science agrees, the mind can literally reprogram the body. Psychoneuroimmunology, that's the field that studies how thoughts and emotions influence health. Researchers have found that positive emotions like hope, gratitude, and joy strengthen immune responses, speed up cellular repair, and reduce chronic inflammation, the main driver of aging. In fact, studies show that seniors with an optimistic outlook live an average of 7.5 years longer than those with a negative mindset. 7.5 years, just from choosing to stay hopeful. But here's the part people get wrong. They think happiness is something you feel after life goes well. In truth, it's often the reason life does go well. Gratitude and laughter lower cortisol, the stress hormone that accelerates aging, and increase serotonin, the chemical that helps your brain stay calm and alert. And once said, you can't control time, but you can control how you spend it. That's not just poetic, it's physiological. When your brain feels safe, thankful, and engaged, your body follows. It heals faster, sleeps better, and even digests food more efficiently. So, here's your takeaway: start small. Write down 3 things you're grateful for each morning, even if it's just the sunrise, your morning coffee, or the sound of birds outside your window. Smile at a stranger. Say thank you, even when life feels unfair. Because gratitude doesn't erase pain. It transforms it. It turns endurance into strength, and age into grace. And that's what Ann Angeli embodies, not just long life, but living well. Now that you've seen the science and the story behind her habits, one question remains. Which of these will you start practicing today? It's not easy watching your parents or grandparents grow older. Sometimes you see their hands shake a little more, their steps slow down, and their memories fade in ways that hurt your heart. You wish you could stop time, just long enough to hold on to who they were, to what they still mean to you. But stories like Ann's remind us something powerful: aging doesn't have to mean fading. It can mean evolving. Because science keeps proving what the heart already knows, it's not the number of candles on the cake that decides how long we live, it's the fire behind them. And didn't fight aging, she befriended it. She didn't wait for someone to keep her company, she created her own reason to wake up every morning. She took the train, opened her shop, smiled at strangers, and found purpose in every handshake, every sparkle of conversation, every "how are you?" that turned into a shared laugh. That's the real secret. Longevity isn't in the genes, it's in the choices. The little things we do, over and over, that tell our bodies, I'm still here. I still matter. So maybe today, start small. Call your mom. Visit your neighbor. Sit with your father over tea. Go for that short walk you've been postponing. Because these aren't just habits, they're lifelines. They're how we connect the science of aging to the art of living. And here's the truth that Ann's life whispers so clearly: you don't need to be rich, famous, or extraordinary to age beautifully. You just need purpose, care, connection, and the courage to stay curious. At 101, Ann isn't chasing youth. she's cherishing life. Every smile, every step, every sunrise. That's her medicine. And it can be yours too. So, let's take a breath and look back at what we've learned from her journey. 5 simple, powerful habits: daily movement, a sense of purpose, self-care, meaningful relationships, and a positive mindset. That's what keeps Ann thriving at 101. Not luck. Not miracle pills. Just mindful living, practiced every single day. Now, I want you to think about your own life. Which of these habits do you already see in your parents or grandparents? Which one do you want to nurture in yourself? Maybe it's walking every day. Maybe it's finding a reason to get up that excites you. Maybe it's calling that old friend you've lost touch with. Whatever it is, write it down in the comments. Because your words, your small reflections, could be the reason someone else decides to start living better tomorrow. This community, Senior Health Wisdom, isn't just about watching videos, it's about sharing moments, lessons, and reminders that we're all walking this road together. And if Ann's story touched something deep in you, if it made you think about life, love, and how precious every day really is, then don't let it stop here. Hit that subscribe button, and join us as we uncover more stories, more science, and more ways to age with energy, dignity, and joy. Because at the end of the day, longevity isn't a number. It's a lifestyle. It's choosing to live fully, even when the world tells you to slow down. So, until next time, stay curious. Stay kind. And remember, the real secret to growing old is to keep growing inside. See you in the next video.